In a viral clip, after she made a foul play, Griner appears to mouth something rather controversial. It might be, though we don't know, trash and possibly fucking white girl. Others have suggested it might be trash and fucking whack call. We don't know what she's mouthing, but she seems to, have a mouth on her and not exactly be in the gratitude space. Griner herself hasn't commented. Now, why is that? If you were being accused of making racist statements, I think you'd want to clear that up quickly. You'd race to the cameras and put out a statement on X to say, I said fucking whack call. I didn't say effing white girl. But she's not. She's apparently totally comfortable letting those allegations linger. Maybe she's worried that the people on the bench or the people right behind her had a recording going. You know how people do? They record the game. They want to show their friends that they were there. Maybe she's concerned that if she comes out and says it's one thing, there might be proof that it was something else. We don't know because she's not speaking to it, which is odd.
Let's be honest. So the whole market reacts to this with Brittney Griner, right? And then the other quote, Rob, then I'm going to wrap this up and then I'm going to go to Adam. Put the quote of Brittney Griner, what she said about the NBA. This is so funny how all this stuff works out, right? She says, this is from Brittney. Every time we play her, there's this commotion, like this loud rumbling from the stands. Turns out it's people, thousands of them, just sitting there, watching on purpose. It's very disruptive. It's called a freaking game that they pay you money to play. Don't play the game.
And think about it, Brittney Griner talking all that trash. We traded the merchant of death for your ass, and you're out there talking shit and saying racist shit on the freaking sideline, and it's disgusting. Okay, that's why nobody watches it, and it'll
No, they're
lose
watching
money.
it. No. The point is, Vinny, if Caitlin Clark goes and is playing, they're watching it. Guess what was just announced yesterday?
What?
Caitlin Clark's
She's
injured. She'll be out for 2 weeks.
Good.
Let's see what happens to viewership.
Good.
Let's see what happens to viewership.
This whole controversy blew up from what started as a routine moment on the court, only to snowball into one of the biggest and most tense conflicts the WNBA has seen in recent years. And at the heart of this storm, Caitlin Clark, the breakout star who's taken America by surprise. She's lighting up the league with her talent and charisma, but the WNBA itself is still figuring out how to navigate the impact she's having. What looked like just another hard-fought game quickly turned into something far from ordinary. This is anything but the usual business.
Griner voiced frustration in a recent interview, claiming that Caitlin Clark is ruining what used to make the WNBA great. Wait for this.
Empty stands?
Tom, let me just...
go ahead, I'm so mad.
WNBA games used to be a chill, quiet place. You could bring your laptop and relax, maybe even get a little work done. But now it's like there's a large gathering of people watching us from the stands. Some of them are yelling crazy shit about what they're seeing, putting unfair pressure on us to score like we're there for their entertainment. And that's pretty gross. Are you
I act like this
Okay.
is
Rob, can you verify that this is what she said on the mom and pop WNBA model? That she's sick of the fan. And then she says, the whole thing is toxic. I saw a guy with his daughter in the crowd, both of them yelling, couldn't hear what they were saying exactly, but it was either about my performance or some light racism. Definitely one of the two. Give me a flipping break.
It all began when Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese clashed once more in what should have been a routine regular season matchup. They've battled before, and no doubt will again. But this time, something felt different. Midway through the game, Reese pushed one of Clark's teammates in a move many dismissed as just hard-nosed basketball. But moments later, Clark answered back with a forceful foul on Reese. And that's when the drama exploded. Reese hit the floor in a dramatic, almost theatrical way, instantly lighting up social media feeds. Fans were quick to draw comparisons to LeBron James's most notorious flops. Whether it was all for show or genuine, one thing is clear.
This is why the WNBA is never, ever, ever going to work and never make money. And this is exactly what Caitlin Clark gets for bending the knee. Do you guys remember when she said, when we lost all respect for her, when she said, I want to say I've earned every single thing, but as a white person, there is privilege. And the more we can elevate black women, this is going to be a beautiful thing. That's when it was all over. And Angel Reese and Brittney Griner, they walk around like the league owes them something. Even Ryan Clark's attitude as if, bro, where's the victimhood? These are freaking millionaires. Like, what are you talking about? It's attitude, it's no humility, just entitlement, and that's not confidence, it's arrogance with receipts. Okay, if you want fans, if you want your league to grow, act like a professional. Okay.
It worked perfectly. What began as just another intense WNBA matchup quickly exploded into one of the most charged and controversial moments the league has seen in years. At the heart of it all, Caitlin Clark, the league's breakout star, and a basketball world still struggling to come to terms with her rapid rise. The drama unfolded when Clark and Angel Reese faced off once again on the court. They've clashed before, and they certainly will again, but this time, something felt different. During the game, Reese shoved one of Clark's teammates, an act some dismissed as tough physical basketball. But when Clark fired back with a hard foul, tensions erupted. Reese hit the floor in an exaggerated fall, instantly drawing comparisons to LeBron James's most notorious flops. Real or not, the moment sparked a firestorm. The foul was called, tempers flared, and what should have been a routine game quickly became a symbol of something far bigger than just basketball. What followed was a media frenzy. The conversation turned uncomfortable, diving headfirst into issues of race, media bias, and who the public chose to root for or condemn. Social media blew up with accusations that the league and fans were shielding Caitlin Clark because she's white, while labeling Angel Reese as aggressive or troublesome. These weren't just passing opinions. These claims came from some of the most influential voices in sports media. Jamelle Hill shook things up by boldly declaring Angel Reese could become the Michael Jordan of women's basketball. Not Diana Taurasi or Aja Wilson, but Reese herself. The statement stunned many of her followers, but aimed to shift the narrative, portraying Reese's passion not as immaturity, but as the spark of a legend in the making. Then the controversy sharpened. Former NFL star and ESPN analyst Robert Griffin III praised Caitlin Clark as a generational talent lifting the entire league. But rather than fueling healthy debate, things quickly turned personal. Respected analyst Ryan Clark fired back, not by questioning Clark's numbers or Griffin's take, but by attacking Griffin's personal life, saying, "What does RG3 know about the struggles of black women? He's married to a white woman." The message was clear. Griffin's marriage supposedly disqualified him from discussing the experiences of black women. The backlash was swift and loud, igniting debates over reverse racism, jealousy, and hypocrisy across social media. Ryan Clark eventually issued an apology, but by then, the damage was already done. That controversy alone would have been enough to headline the news. But the story was far from over. During a game between the Phoenix Mercury and the Indiana Fever, Brittney Griner was reportedly caught on camera muttering a racial slur directed at Caitlin Clark. The video spread like wildfire. Audio from courtside seemed to capture someone, believed to be Griner, uttering words that sounded like trash-fucksing white girl. Though the league has yet to officially confirm the voice in the clip, fans were quick to make up their minds. The backlash was immediate and fierce. For many, this clip seemed to confirm suspicions that Clark wasn't just being challenged on the court. She was being targeted off it too because of who she is. Some argued Clark was simply enduring the usual criticism that comes with being a breakout star. Others saw it as a deliberate form of bullying, rooted not in anything Clark said or did, but in her success and the new audience she's attracting. And then came the most shocking twist of all. In the wake of the slur scandal, Brittney Griner refused to apologize or back down. Instead, she seemed to double down, expressing frustration not only with Clark, but with the shifting culture of the WNBA itself. Griner described how games used to be calm and low-key, almost like background noise where you could bring your laptop, get work done, and enjoy a relaxed atmosphere. Now, the arena is loud, chaotic, and overwhelming, all because fans are finally filling the seats. Pause and think about that. A professional athlete complaining that the crowd is too noisy, that the very fan support the league has begged for, is somehow ruining the experience for players. Griner said the cheers, boos, and chants made her feel uncomfortable, as if she was being singled out, criticized, and even racially attacked by the very fans fueling the league's growth. And just like that, someone once seen as a cornerstone of the WNBA managed to alienate an entire new generation of supporters in less than a minute. The irony here is impossible to miss. After years of demanding bigger crowds, louder arenas, and national spotlight, the WNBA finally got exactly what it wanted, only to have some of its biggest stars resist the very changes they fought so hard to create. Caitlin Clark has ignited a surge of new fans, unprecedented media attention, and visibility the league has never known. But instead Instead of embracing this moment, parts of the WNBA seem uneasy, or worse, openly pushing back against the transformation. With Caitlin Clark sidelined due to injury, all attention shifts to what lies ahead. Early signs show a drop in both TV ratings and ticket sales, raising an uncomfortable question. Without Clark, will the league fade back into the background? Some veterans, like Brittney Griner, might even welcome a quieter time, but that nostalgia could come with serious consequences. Now, the situation has taken an even more intense turn. Rumors are swirling that the league is considering disciplinary measures against Griner after her alleged courtside slur directed at Clark. While no official punishment has been announced, whispers suggest a possible suspension is on the table, and insiders say she's already being quietly removed from league marketing materials. Sources say team executives are pushing hard for strong action. Though Griner might not be outright fired, her role in the league could be significantly diminished, sending a powerful message. This issue goes far beyond just fan outrage. Sponsors are raising difficult questions, social media is demanding accountability, and league leaders are caught in a difficult balancing act, supporting their players while keeping the massive new fan base Clark attracted from slipping away. But the bigger question isn't only about Brittney Griner, it's about what this moment reveals about the WNBA's direction. If just one breakout star can throw the entire league into turmoil, the real problem might not be Clark or even the players themselves. It might be the structure and identity of the league. For years, the WNBA has struggled to carve out its own space. It's existed in the NBA's shadow, sharing resources but never quite capturing the same spotlight. Then Caitlin Clark arrived. Love her or hate her, there's no denying she's changed the game. She's packing arenas, smashing records, and drawing media attention like no one before. The league desperately needed that spark, even if it's hard to admit. But instead of rallying behind this success, the WNBA feels like it's fracturing from within. Griner's alleged remark wasn't just about Clark. It exposed a deeper cultural divide simmering beneath the surface for years, one that the league has never fully confronted until now. There are players who've dedicated years, sometimes a decade or more, to the WNBA, grinding away quietly, representing the league without flashy endorsements, media buzz, or nationwide fanfare. Then along comes Caitlin Clark, fresh out of college, carrying a huge personal brand, millions of followers, and more hype in her rookie season than many veterans have ever seen. To some, she's the face of progress. To others, she's a stark reminder of the inequality that still shadows women's sports. Brittney Griner's harsh words, offensive to many, didn't come from nowhere. They're the result of long-standing frustrations bubbling to the surface. Whether justified or not, Clark has become a lightning rod, symbolizing a league that often seems slow to celebrate its veterans with the same enthusiasm. But there's a difference between private resentment and airing it out publicly, especially when cameras and microphones are recording every syllable. That's exactly where Griner finds herself in hot water. The WNBA prides itself on values like unity, respect, and empowerment. Now, one of its biggest stars faces accusations of undermining those principles, attacking a fellow player based on her race, looks, and rapid rise to fame. For a league already balancing on a razor's edge, this isn't just a PR crisis, it's a challenge to its very identity. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has mostly kept her distance from the drama. Her interviews are calm, professional, and drama-free. She praises teammates, respects opponents, and steers clear of controversy. But even that silence has drawn scrutiny. Some see it as a savvy move. Others suspect she's being muted, either for her own safety or to prevent further conflict. There are whispers that the league itself might be encouraging her quietness, trying to keep the situation from exploding. No matter what, the debate rages on. At first, comparisons to Jackie Robinson might seem exaggerated, but step back and examine the cultural, social, and emotional layers around Clark's rise, and you begin to understand how significant this moment truly is. The parallels start to click. Jackie Robinson broke down barriers by entering a world that wasn't ready to accept him. Caitlin Clark's path is different, but the unease she faces feels strangely familiar. She never sought the spotlight. She didn't go looking for fame, but now that all eyes are on her, everyone wants to define who she is and what she represents, whether she agrees or not. At the center of this storm is Brittney Griner, a figure all too familiar with public scrutiny. Her detention in Russia made global headlines, and her return was hailed as a story of resilience and strength. But this new controversy threatens to rewrite that entire narrative. For many fans, this isn't about politics, race, or even gender. It boils down to one thing: conduct. If any athlete, male or female, black or white, were caught on a hot mic using a slur against a fellow player, the backlash would be immediate and harsh. That's the standard people expect now. And across social media and sports platforms, the question keeps coming up: why is this being overlooked? Is the WNBA prioritizing its image over accountability? So far, the league has remained silent. No fines, no suspensions, no official comments, but that quiet likely won't last much longer. Insiders reveal that conversations behind closed doors are heating up, sponsors want answers, fans are demanding action, and league executives are walking a tightrope, trying to respond without jeopardizing the momentum Caitlin Clark has sparked. Meanwhile, signs point to Griner already facing subtle consequences. She's been absent from recent promotional campaigns. Her name has disappeared from press materials. Sources say the Phoenix Mercury has been urged to limit her public appearances, at least for now. Some are calling this a soft suspension, no formal penalty, but real repercussions nonetheless. Which raises a more troubling question: is this the beginning of Brittney Griner's gradual fade from the WNBA spotlight, not through an official release, but by carefully dialing down her presence? Fewer interviews, less media coverage, reduced visibility, until she quietly slips out of the limelight. This isn't unheard of. Professional sports leagues have distanced themselves from players whose off-court controversies became too much to handle. We've seen it in the NFL, the NBA, even the Olympics. Often it's not the game that ends a career, it's the controversy. The WNBA has never dealt with a controversy this big, until now. How the league handles this moment could shape its future for years ahead. Already the fallout is spreading far and wide. Fans are picking sides, online forums, sports talk shows, and panel discussions buzz with non-stop debate. On one side, there are those who believe Caitlin Clark is being unfairly targeted, that the backlash stems from jealousy, bitterness, and in some cases, outright racial bias. On the other, people argue her meteoric rise has eclipsed the efforts of veteran players who've poured years into growing the league without similar recognition. The tension isn't just among fans, it runs deep inside the WNBA too. Some players have publicly stood up for Brittney Griner, calling the criticism an overreaction fueled by emotions running high. Meanwhile, others quietly support Clark, liking subtle social media posts about professionalism or sharing vague messages about respect. What began as behind-the-scenes locker room dynamics has exploded into a nationwide conversation. For a league that's always championed unity and empowerment, this could become one of its most divisive moments ever. Making matters worse, networks like ESPN, which have invested millions in this season, are growing increasingly uneasy. This year was supposed to be a breakthrough for women's basketball, a chance to build on rising momentum, but if the story keeps spiraling into racial conflict and internal drama, the excitement might fade as quickly as it appeared, because fans love inspiring underdog tales and thrilling comebacks, but chaos, that scares them away. Right now, Caitlin Clark is walking a razor's edge, her star power undeniable, yet she's also being treated like a scapegoat. If the storm doesn't settle soon, the league risks losing far more than sponsorship dollars. It could lose the very fan base it has fought so hard to build, and the challenges aren't over yet. Just as the WNBA was poised to ride the wave of Clark's rise, news came that she'd be sidelined with an injury. It's not season ending, but serious enough to keep her off the court for at least 2 weeks, possibly longer after further evaluation. The league, as usual, offered the standard well wishes, but the reality couldn't be clearer. The WNBA's biggest star is sidelined, and at the worst possible moment. Behind the scenes, a darker story is unfolding. While many fans are heartbroken over Caitlin Clark's injury, some insiders seem oddly relieved. It's unsettling, but true. Players, coaches, and even a handful of commentators appear more comfortable than concerned. Why? Because Clark's absence shifts the spotlight back to the veterans, those who have long felt overlooked and underappreciated. But this way of thinking misses the bigger picture. If the league can only find calm when Clark isn't playing, maybe that calm is just denial. This whole controversy exposes a raw truth. The WNBA is grappling with an identity crisis. Its contradictions are on full display. The league wants growth, more headlines, bigger sponsors, primetime coverage. Yet the very player delivering all that success, Clark, faces resentment, hostility, and silence. Caitlyn never asked to become a lightning rod. She simply came to play basketball. But now, she's caught in a cultural storm far bigger than sports. And it's no longer just a game day debate. It's gone national. Cable news, political commentators, podcasts, everyone's weighing in on Caitlyn Clark. The conversation isn't just about race or gender anymore. It's about what professional sports should represent. Talent, hard work, fair competition. But when bitterness, politics, and identity fights drown out those values, everyone loses, including the fans. Speaking of fans, the early signs since Clark's injury are stark. Attendance is down. Arenas that sold out just weeks ago now have empty seats. Her jersey sales have slowed. The fire that energized the WNBA is flickering. And Clark was that fire. No player in recent memory, and maybe ever, has generated this kind of buzz, energy, and media attention for the league. If she walks away, whether because of injury, mistreatment, or sheer exhaustion, there is no backup plan. No one else combines elite skill, star power, and fan connection like Clark does. Angel Reese has personality, yes, but hasn't matched Clark's impact on viewership or mass appeal. And Brittney Griner, once a cornerstone of the WNBA brand, she's now more of a PR challenge than an asset. This isn't a healthy situation, it's a warning sign. Inside the league offices, tension is running high. Some executives want to mend fences with Clark, show her support, and keep her in the game for the long haul. Others are scrambling to contain the fallout from the Griner controversy without making things worse. But public opinion may have already shifted, and not in the league's favor. Many fans feel betrayed. They were promised a rising WNBA, a league stepping into the spotlight. Instead, they've gotten division, petty drama, and silence. All while a rising star is attacked simply for excelling at the game she loves. Here's the real kicker. Caitlyn Clark has never played the victim. She's absorbed the blows, shrugged off the fouls, and stayed silent through the insults. No complaints, no demands for special treatment, no calls for sympathy. Yet somehow she's become the villain. For what? Being too talented? For dominating the game too well? What kind of message does that send? To the young girls watching from their living rooms, to casual fans debating whether to buy a ticket, and to sponsors deciding where to put their money. The message couldn't be clearer. Achievement takes a back seat to identity politics. Skill no longer rules the conversation. Politics do. And for a league still fighting for respect and growth, that's a dangerous trap. As for Brittney Griner, her path forward is uncertain. She might come back, deliver a carefully scripted statement, and hope the storm passes. Or she could quietly disappear, pushed aside by the same system that once celebrated her. No matter what, her legacy is forever altered. This moment has left an indelible mark. Caitlyn Clark didn't ask for this spotlight, but it's hers now. She's the face of a league caught between embracing her brilliance and pushing her away. The WNBA stands at a critical crossroads. One road leads back to fundamentals, pure talent, solidarity, and a passion for the game. The other keeps spiraling down a path of division, envy, and performative outrage. The league must decide, and fast, because fans are already drifting away. Without Clark lighting the way, they're looking elsewhere. The coming weeks will reveal everything about the league's future. Will it rise above the drama and succeed on talent alone? Or will it buckle under the weight of its own contradictions? And here's the question no one's willing to ask out loud. If Caitlyn Clark had never entered the WNBA, would anyone even be watching? And if she leaves now, who will stay?